The National Association of Homebuilders apparently aren't happy. Carl Harris, who happens to be the chairman of the National Association of Homebuilders, is pouting about the fact that there are tariffs being put in place. Per Mr. Harris, tariffs on lumber and other building materials increase the cost of construction and discourage new development, and consumers end up paying for the tariffs. I don't believe I heard Mr. Harris complaining a great deal when the Inflation Reduction Act went into place, which also increased the cost of construction and was going to burden every homeowner with a bill of about $50,000 to retrofit your house for all those green initiatives. You see, now that those have gone by the wayside, because Trump's going to axe that, I'm sure these tariffs won't have an effect on the housing market. But what say you? That's just my opinion. You know, I don't have a problem taxing other countries. I do have a problem with taxing Americans and then sending the money to other countries. Love them or hate them. Before you start crying in your beer, like Chuck Schumer did, you know, these tariffs are designed to curb behavior, and they're effective at doing that, and to encourage other countries to build their materials here and employ Americans. And we're going to really need those jobs. We need more jobs because in the next 18 months, it is estimated that AI is going to eliminate 300 million more jobs. That's the problem. So, bringing back construction of industrial goods and materials here to the United States and employing citizens is a good thing. You know, once upon a time, we didn't get taxed. That's right. I mean, we lived off of tariffs here in the United States of America. It was President Taft that initiated the 16th Amendment, which gave Congress the ability to collect taxes, and it was ratified and passed into a final bill, I guess, in 1913. And then they changed it from collecting taxes on corporations to collecting taxes on individuals. It was originally designed to collect taxes on businesses and corporations, and President Wilson added individual income taxes in 1913. So you can thank him for that. I say, tax the other countries. Don't tax us. That's music to my ears. That's right. We're going to try to get back to the way it was 100 years ago. I'm good with that. Everybody would like to have another 25% in their pocket. You could spend that money, save it. I would suggest you save it. And just in case you don't believe in tariffs, I will tell you they are effective because both Canada and Mexico caved to what Trump wanted. Let's see, Mexico decided it would agree to putting 10,000 troops on the border to help keep all of those illegals from coming in. Also, supposedly, the Mexican president's going to stop all cartel activity, including fentanyl, from coming over the border. Trump's going to look at this for the next 30 days, see if she's really good at it. Canada caved too. I don't have the details on what they agreed to, but I'm sure it has to do with border security. And you know, Canadians, the Canadian government doesn't even allow our banks to operate there. And then there's the EU. They're next. They don't buy our cars. They want us to buy their cars, but they don't buy our cars. So we need to level the playing field. It's only fair. It's good for the goose. It's good for the gander. But tell me what you think. I mean, I personally don't think tariffs are going to cause a big bump in construction prices, because I do believe we're going to have a real big spike in inventory eventually. I mean, inventory's been growing every month, a little bit more, a little bit more. And it's economics 101. Once you flood the market with inventory, prices will come down. So regardless of what those building materials cost, if we have an ample supply of housing, and I believe we do, prices will eventually start to fall. It's going to take some time, though. There is speculation. There's a lot of homes that are going to come on the market due to foreclosure activity, because there's a lot of people not paying their mortgage. And eventually, it'll end up on the market. It might be the end of 2025, might be early 2026, but inventory will continue to grow if people don't make their house payment. And speaking of jobs and housing, Bankrate.com seems to be under the impression that these contractors building all these homes have hired illegals. And they feel like, well, construction is going to slow because there'll be no illegals working, which is illegal. You're not supposed to hire illegal immigrants in the first place. That's illegal. So we'll see if that actually comes to fruition. I just say you'll hire Americans. And if you can bring back all of those industrial type jobs, if we can start maybe having some of these car manufacturers build their cars here, maybe we have, I don't know, antibiotics made here and not in China, it'll bring more jobs. And if everyone's gainfully employed, they can afford to buy things like houses. I will tell you, there's a lot going on and everything's happening so fast. I'm having a hard time keeping up with it all. But I can tell you this, having an open border is a good thing. Said no one ever. So I am very happy to see that we have stopped the insanity. Now, you'll hear all of the news agencies out there crying about tariffs, but the bottom line here is no one really knows how much it's going to increase prices of anything. Because eventually, even if prices do rise, whether it's housing or new construction or, your cell phone, once the tides turn and all that manufacturing comes back to the United States and we have a lot of jobs being created, I think it'll all come out in the wash. So I'm not too worried about it. Whether you love those tariffs or you hate them, only time will tell what the end result of implementing those will be. But put your comments below. I love reading them. And make sure to come back and see me next time. And hit that like button and the subscribe button. Take care.